Hey YouTube, my name is Stacy Celeste and this is my channel. So today is going to be a vlog and it's actually going to be a very regular vlog. It's almost like a challenge vlog, and I wanted to create a challenge that is going to get me to read more books per month. So before, I used to I'm going to say maybe almost a couple years ago now, before COVID, I was like in a place where I was getting like 5 to 10 books read per month. And that includes audiobooks as well. But then COVID happened, I was doing okay. And then I started doing, I kind of started falling off more and more, and to a point where I was lucky to get like 1 book read per month. And then there would be months where I get like 3 or 4. But I want to get back into that groove and try to get around 3 to 5 books read a month, because I think that's the amount of books that I can read and actually digest and not be like just trying to read a bunch of books, because I really actually want to digest the books and really have them really just become a part of my soul and my spirit. So what I want to do is, my challenge is to finish a book every weekend. Now that doesn't mean to start and finish the book necessarily. I could start the book, during the week, or it could be a book that I started previously, but my goal is to finish a book every single weekend. I want to have like a weekly day in the life type book vlog. I guess a book vlog would be the word for it, where I just kind of tell you my insights on the book from an immediate standpoint. So it's just like, it's not, oh, I thought about this. It's like, okay, I just read this and it's freaking crazy and I don't know what to think of it. So I want to focus 1 book per week and provide that type of content. Plus, I think vlogs are really cool because they're just kind of unedited, especially book vlogs. You're kind of just seeing like what you think in the moment. All right, so the book that I'm currently reading is, drum roll, The Great Alone by Kristin. I have the bookmark in there backwards, but because of where I stopped it. But this book is about a girl named Lenny who has her father and her mother have a very toxic, abusive relationship. The father is the main person that's abusive. The father was in like the Vietnam War, and he came back. He left one person, he came back a totally different person. And so he's very spastic, and he's very like, you don't know what you're going to get from him. And so basically he decided, I guess one of his war friends had this property out in Alaska, and he decided to bring his family up to this very remote town in Alaska. When I say remote, the climate and the environment outside of Alaska has triggered their father in a way that is very interesting. And I'm not going to go too far in the detail, but he becomes like their home. I think what the back of the book says is like, while the outside is treacherous, their home, inside the home, is even crazier. There's this, ego battle between 2 guys in the book, the father and another guy from the community. And then there's a very interesting relationship that the main character, Lenny, Lenora, that she is having with one of the guys, or with her father's like nemesis. So I'm in the middle of the book, and so I've read the first half of the book, and I plan to finish the second half of the book this weekend, and I will take you guys along for that particular journey. What I'll do is I will make some food. I'll probably sit down, do about an hour reading, and then I'll come back to you guys and let you know what the Jesus is going on and what happened. All right, so I'll be right back. Peace out. All right, real quick check-in with you guys. This is gonna be really quick because I'm going to go to my yoga class here in like a few minutes. I did eat some oatmeal, but my friend called me, so I was talking majority of the time instead of reading. But I did get like maybe another 15 to 20 pages read. One of the things that I'm still trying to decide about in this book is the portrayal of the Black character that she works in the town, and she is like over the retail store, and it definitely, like, her characterization definitely falls into the box of this, I guess, what are the words? You know how that Big Mama, like the Big Mama character, I think that, you know, a lot of times Black women are characterized as not necessarily romantic interests, and I don't think that that needed to be here in this book, but they call her Large Marge. And I think that that is, you know, I don't want it to be like nitpicky, but as the story is going on, you're seeing how she is depicted in the book as almost a savior, and her size is, you know, very prevalent that they talk about. She even talks about her size. They kind of kid around at her size, and I think it kind of toes the line of, you know, because there's no other Black characters in the book, it is, I think, slightly problematic how that character is depicted in this particular book. I don't think it takes away from the story, but it is like, whenever I hear them say Large Marge, whenever I read that, it's just kind of like, you know, she's large, she's Black, she's a woman, I'm not even gonna go into it, but she's, you know, but she's kind of depicted as a very wholesome, knows it, saving grace type character. And I think that, like I said, I think it can get a little dangerous, because a lot of times that, you know, Black women tend to be depicted as not as women, almost as like just a savior piece, you know. And I mean, it's not necessarily a negative, it's definitely not a negative depiction of her, like she's not like, but I think that it kind of gets into some dangerous tropes. But other than that, it is definitely very difficult, because right now the main character is she doesn't feel comfortable talking about her situation with the person that the problematic relationship that she's in. And I definitely can understand where she's at, and I definitely understand where everybody else is, because there's potential that it could cause a lot of issues within her family and within the community as a whole, with her allegiance to this guy that is the son of her dad's arch nemesis. So I am very interested to see how that plays out. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts right now. I am on page 282, and I'm in the middle of a chapter, actually. Let's see where I am. I'm in the middle of chapter 17. So there's like 550 pages in this book. So I am over halfway through it, and my goal is to get to probably around 350 to 400 pages today, because I think if I do that, then I'll be able to finish the book by tomorrow. Yeah, so I am about to head to yoga. I'll be back, and I will probably hop in the shower, read a little. I'm gonna go out to dinner with one of my friends tonight, and then hopefully we get back at a reasonable time so that I can sit and read throughout the night and try to, I don't know. Like if I can get a good sit down, we might finish it today. So I don't know. But those are my thoughts right now. Let me know, like if you guys have read this book, let me know what you thought about Large Marge. Because she's the one character that I am towing around because, you know, it is a little odd to have her there and to, you know, the characterization of her is just very, very like, okay, we get that. Let me see real quick when this book was published. So yeah, this is published in 2018. So like, yeah, no. That's where I'm at. I'll see you guys when I pick up the camera next. All right, peace out. Hey guys, I'm back from the gym, or from the yoga place, and I just got out the shower and wanted to come back in real quick. I haven't started, oh, let me get my book, I'll be right back. I haven't started back reading yet, but I will. I think I'm gonna make a cup of coffee because, you know, I'm not young anymore, okay? Like, when I say young, I'm saying I'm not like some of these other YouTubers that can do these 24-hour reading vlogs. I love to watch them, but I take naps on weekends, okay? Not during the week because work, but on the weekends I take naps. So, all right, so I just looked up Aunt Jemima, the syrup. I will put a picture here. Everybody's seen this. Is it the syrup or the pancakes? I think it's the pancakes. And it's this theme of like this mammy. Like here you see, like it says the mammy caricature, anti-black imagery. And like she comes off as that. And I just wanted to kind of maybe read a little bit or like find some of these. And I will also put some of these articles in the description box. A little truth surrounded by a larger lie. The character portrayed an obese, coarse, maternal figure. She had great love for her white family, but often treated her own family with disdain. Although she had children, sometimes many, she was completely desexualized. She belonged to the white family, though it was rarely stated. Unlike Sambo, she was a faithful worker. She had no black friends. The white family was her entire world. Obviously, the mammy character was more myth than accurate portrayal. And honestly, you guys, if you guys have read this, tune in, get in the description box, please. Because does that not describe Large Marge in this book? She look, this is she had great love for her white family, but often treated her own with disdain. Now, there is a part in there where she tried to help her sister. That part is, yeah, that is not the same, but everything else. Although she had children, sometimes many, she was completely desexualized. She belonged to the white family, though it was rarely stated. So she basically she moved in. Okay? That's all I gotta say. That's it. I don't want to be spoilers, so like, but those really stated. Unlike Sambo, she was a faithful worker. She had no black friends. The white family was her entire world. So it's in this story, that is one of the things that I'm trying not to let it like overtake the story, because I think it's a really good story, and I don't think that Large Marge, like the name even, like I don't necessarily believe that it is totally coincides with this. I think that, you know, whatever she ran from, which that may come out in the book, you know, it's going to be very interesting to see once I finish the story what I think about everything. All right, I just wanted to show that because that's kind of what I was talking about before I went to the gym. I couldn't quite put my name on it, but it was like, here they call it the mammy caricature. But yeah, that is the part that I'm kind of struggling with in this particular story. Anyways, let me get back to reading. I'm gonna get a cup of coffee and then I'll see you guys when I get back. Hopefully we'll do it's 2:22 now, so let's do 1 to 2 hours of reading, and then I will come right back to you guys. But first, coffee. Classical piano. Yes, yes, yes. How did they know that is what I was wanting to watch today? It's cute. The love is cute. But it's about to go. Something crazy is gonna happen, and I'm just waiting for it to happen. Oh, but I'm turning this off. I will tell you about it once I finish. Well, not finish, but finish my little session. Guys, so if you might be able to tell, I did fall asleep a little bit. This music and this freaking fireplace thing, but I managed to get to page 343 in the book, so I'm making my way towards the end. I have to actually get ready to go to dinner with one of my friends, and when I get back I will continue to read. But y'all, okay, the interesting thing about this book is that the father is such a loose cannon, and it's like he's not even human. It's like everything is a grenade. Like it's a field of grenades. That's what it feels like. And they have to be so careful about little things, the smallest things. You have a teenage girl who's in love, and you read about that, and there's only tension. Like, as a reader, it's only tension because you're only thinking about, girl, bad things are gonna happen. So it's thrilling. It's a page turner right now. I had to stop because I read too long, because I was supposed to stop at 5:30, but you know, it gets dark so early. It's like 5:36 right now. But like, when I tell you guys, it is this book, like, even with the problematic Large Marge deal, which I still have some more to say about, but the book itself, it just shows you how traumatizing life inside of some people's homes are. Like, you don't have to be in a war zone to be in a war zone. You don't have to be a prisoner to be a prisoner. Like, this, she does such a good job of showing how crazy, because I don't have a better word, but just how my blood pressure, just in living, just day-to-day things. As a reader, you should be able to like sit and enjoy a scene of like love and like innocence and just the beauty of that. But you can't, because you know they're sitting on a freaking cannon, you know, and he's just so unpredictable, but predictable, you know, like it's crazy. So at the point in the story where it's a race against time, And just as a reader, I just feel like I'm turning each page, and each page there's an anxiety that, you know, something crazy is going to happen very soon. So it's just, I'm totally invested. I really just want to figure out what happens, and I really, really, really just want a happy ending. But my predictions for the last, 200 pages or so, a little bit more than 200 pages of the book, I know something crazy is going to happen. All right? I know something wild and crazy is going to happen. And my prediction is that the main character of the book is going to die. And my prediction is that she's going to die at the hands of her father. Hey everybody, I am back with you guys. Last night, I didn't get home until like just after midnight. So with that being said, I did not, actually I think I did read a little bit, but I fell asleep. So it really was not good reading. So this morning I got up and I decided to do a couple chores, a little bit of laundry, which is in right now. So if you hear anything, that's just my laundry. But I sat down and I read. So I am here now. I am on page 392. And you guys, this story is just heartbreaking. I'm just kind of like on the edge of my seat. I just don't, I was sitting on the couch reading, and I wish I had the camera rolling, because it was just like my soul is just kind of torn, you know, but at the same time, I still have almost over 150 pages left. So I don't know I still don't know what's going to happen. I still am in a level of shock about what has transpired in this part of the book, and I was wrong. At least so far, I was wrong about my prediction in the last clip. But when I tell you, it's just, this book is just, it is really good. It is really good. I know we talked about that trope, that Large March trope, but other than that, the book is really good. I am very anxious to see what happens over the course of this last 150 or so pages, 150, 160 pages. And yeah, what I'm going to do, and the reason why I'm dressed like this and have this hat on, is I'm going to go and take a long walk, because I had an Audible credit and I was able to, let me download it. I was able to get this book on audiobook. So I'm going to walk and also listen while I'm walking, so that hopefully by the time I get back, I'll only have a little bit left to read. I'm going to go through my walk, and I'll be right back with the next clip. Hey YouTube, I am back. I actually closed, it's Monday, I would say. It's Monday and I have to get on my computer and work. I work from home. But I finished this book yesterday, and I had to sleep on it. So yesterday I filmed a wrap up, and this morning I'm like, yeah, I got some more to say about this book. So I figured I would come in really quickly, not really quickly, I'm not gonna rush it, but I figured I'd come in and wrap the book up again, because after I slept on it, I realized that I do have an issue with how the characters of color were portrayed in this book, so much so that it makes me not able to enjoy the story behind the book as much without feeling a little bit of like, okay, this is my critique. There's no doubt about it, this is a great story. There's no doubt about it that the story is solid. The characters, the main characters, that they're well thought out, well fleshed out. They have like a dimensionality. Like they're dimensional. They're multi-dimensional. They're not just these basic characters, and that's what to me makes the story very good, is because of the characterization of the main characters. However, I have mentioned throughout this vlog how cringy Large Marge, her name in general is very cringy, but even how she's described. Let me see if I can find or even like how she's described, how she's talked to, like it just, let me see if I can find that. Okay, here, so in the book, this is how they describe Large Marge at the beginning of the book. And I didn't read through this first, so it might be a little choppy, but Lenny heard the clapping of hands. A black woman with a large afro emerged from the shadows. She was tall and broad-shouldered and so wide she had to turn sideways to get out from behind the polished wood counter. Tiny black moles dotted her face. She came at them fast, bone bracelets clattering on her thick wrists. She was old, at least 50. She wore a long patchwork denim skirt, mismatched wool socks, open-toed sandals, and a long blue shirt unbuttoned to reveal a faded t-shirt. A chic knight rolled the wide leather belt at her waist. Welcome. I know it seems disorganized and daunting, but I know where everything is, down to O-rings and AAA batteries. Folks call me Large Marge, by the way. She was holding out her hand. And you let them, Mama asked, offering that beautiful smile of hers, the one that pulled people in and made them made them smile back. She shook the woman's hand. Large Marge's laughter was loud and barking. She couldn't like she couldn't quite get enough air. I love a woman with a sense of humor. So whom do I have the pleasure of meeting? She uses like barking, like broad shoulders, like she's like, to me it's just like, if you're going to characterize a black character that way, then you better have some other black characters around them. You better go a little bit deeper into that, you know. And it's almost like this, oh yeah, I'm self-deprecating, you guys can self-deprecate me as well. And I like that is like, it takes away from the story. I feel like if you are not comfortable writing characters of color, don't write characters of color. Like that is just it. If you want to have one black character in your book and you want to use them to move the story along, then have them be multidimensional. Give them a story, give them a family, give them a spouse, give them a daughter, give them a place that they're from, that they can actually, that the reader can actually see, feel, and breathe in. Like I said, the story is good, but it's so disjointed. It's like you pluck this black woman out of DC, you put her there as a prop, you know. And I think that that's the part that is kind of just makes you a little bit cringy, is because everybody else, all the white characters have a story. All the white characters have a connection to something. All the white characters have a family. And on top of that, there is a diverse, like there's diversity in the whiteness of the characters. So like there's angry, Mad Earl is a mad character. You have Lenny, who's the main character. You have Tom. You have Ernst. You have Thelma. You have all these Cora. You have the parents of Cora. Like there's so many different characters of white characters that you don't like even, you know, you don't have a one-dimensional view of a whole race of the, you know, character. And it's just like, and I don't know if I'm making a lot of sense, y'all. You guys can disagree with me, but it just takes so much from the story to me. I wish if Large Marge, first of all, let's get a little bit more creative with the names. I mean, I'm sorry. Nobody is gonna just be okay with calling somebody Large Marge. Now, Big Mama, that is a black African American colloquialism, I guess you would say, that people say, hey, I'm going to Big Mama house, like, you know, but it's black folks in our community saying that. And like, and I think that even with Big Mama, like to a lot of extent, it's been misused by, you know, larger media or whatever. But this Large Marge thing, it just seems like a woman that has pride in herself, and this like, I don't know. It's very difficult to understand it. It's very difficult to understand it. And like I said, as a black woman reading this book, I realize that the audience is probably white women. Like, it's hard to believe that this is a audience for everybody if you have the only black woman in the book called Large Marge and being described as having broad shoulders and making barking sounds. Like, and I think the thing about it is that she's such an important character in the book that, you know, she should have had more of a storyline. She should have been more drawn out, you know, just like some of the other characters that played a pivotal role in the book. So you basically, like I said, I felt that she was more of a prop, a very important prop, but more of a prop than an actual person in the book. And I think that there was a great opportunity in this book to give her more dimensionality, I think is the word, and to more depth, more breadth, to really flesh out her character a little bit more. And I think it would have definitely added more to the enjoyability of the book, and more to the story, and more to the community. You know, like, this is the type of community. These are the stories of the people that live here. Not this just one little line about her sister being abused. And it's almost like her story was so intertwined with the story of Cora and her. Like, it was that, you know, it was not, that's why it came up because of them. It didn't come up because it actually was something that mattered to the author. And that she just, it sounds like, you know, I think some authors want to write in diversity into their books, and they find ways to do it, and it just kind of seemed very forced. And even though Large Marge was a good character, she was somebody that, you know, I was hoping like, hey, you need to get the Marge out there, you know, like, you need to get her, like, because she is going to get things done, you know. And I appreciate that, but at the same time, I think it kind of toes the line of being very, like I said, like a stereotype, you know, and ultimately kind of racist, you know. There is also a Native American character at the end of the book that comes into play, plays a very brief role, but is very supportive. And let's be honest, like, Alaska was the first frontier of Native Americans. Like, Native Americans are the first people to go through Alaska. But the story kind of just, like, it talks about Alaska is this untouched frontier, and these white families that came from America in the, you know, 20s and 30s and 50s, that came and discovered it. It almost kind of gives you that vibe, and we all know that that is not the reality. You know, that is not the reality. And to me, instead of sharing the land with Native people, or at least being able to like, and maybe she went to a part of Alaska that didn't have no Native people and didn't consider it. And maybe she, like, that's how, you know, I don't know. But for me as a reader, it just comes off lazy. You know, like, if you're gonna write characters of color, write them like you write the white characters, or else don't. Like, the story would be more enjoyable, I think, if they were white characters, because then it's like you have all these different types of white characters, so you're not, you know, stereotyping one whole group of people. You have a lot of different types of people in the book. So I think that is my biggest qualm. I would have given the book 4 stars if it wasn't for that. Because of that, I can say that yes, the story is good. It is good. I did say it was great, but I would say it's good, but it would have been exceptional if the characters of color were well drawn out, and if there was more, I think, more of a Native American presence in the book. I think that if, you know, Large Marge was a Native American person versus a black person, that probably would have been a good, that, and don't call her Large Marge, but like, if she was Native, that probably would have been a cool thing as well, because that is less disjointed to me. And I'm not saying that there's not black people in Alaska, but I'm just saying that if there is a black person in Alaska, that the story, you have to give some background there, more background than what she gave. So I say that to say, originally I was giving this 4 stars, but then, like I said, I slept on it, and the Large Marge character, Atka, at the end of the book, who was a Native American character, and I'm not going to tell you what role she played because I don't want to give any spoilers here, but I just think that Kristin Hannah, I feel like Kristin Hannah needs to stick to writing about white people. And like, if she gonna bring in, and granted, this is the first book that I've read by her, but I have a feeling that most of her books are about white people, and that's fine. You know, that's fine. I'm not, but, you know, I think that she needs to stick to that. and don't go into the black characters. I think it is what it is. Do I recommend this story? It is a good story. It is a solid story, a good story, but it's hard for me to recommend it just because of that piece of it, because it's just like, it's 28, this was published in 2018, you know? So like, if you're gonna do it. It's no excuse. This is all my opinion, y'all. This is all my opinion. So 3 stars. Did enjoy the book, did enjoy the story, but some of the characterization as a black woman, as a woman of color, I just think it took away from the story, and it made it less enjoyable for me. That is probably my unpopular opinion. My unpopular opinion. I'm probably gonna title that in the story, a like weekly vlog, The Great Alone, my unpopular opinion. That's probably what it's gonna be. But yeah, that's what I have to give it. That's what I have to give it. And yeah, until next time, like, you can expect these weekly. You can expect a video about a book that I finished each week. That is the goal. That is my reading goal. That's what we're gonna do. And yeah, I enjoyed filming this. Look forward to more videos. Like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. You guys have a beautiful week. Peace out.